All right, I have Ben with me today, and we're doing this completely just without preparation because we decided that might be the best way to do this little interview. So Ben's going to be speaking September 30th at our clinic here in North Liberty, and his business is Intuitive Wisdom, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about how we can find him and his webpage and what you do. And then we'll just get into a little brief discussion as kind of a preview of what's to come. I'll hand it over to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me and hosting this event coming up. So my name is Ben Johnston. I have Ben Johnston Intuitive Wisdom, and I'm located at 1295 Jordan Street in North Liberty. And my website is benjohnstonintuitivewisdom.com or benjohnston2023.com. That one's a little quicker and easier to do. So just a quick snippet of who I am and what I do is I've been doing massage since 2011, and I've blended sports massage with lymphatic, with energy work, and I have my own mindset with when it comes to how I understand how the body works.
Okay, so also to clarify, both our last names are Johnston with a T, but there is no relation. Not that I know of anyway. Okay, perfect. So I think that I'm probably not the only one who hears you say that and wonders, okay, what does that mean? Massage work, energy work, lymphatic work. How would you explain that to somebody who that's kind of new words?
So mine's a little maybe more therapeutic, it's interactive, and so what I'll do is I'll assess the body, I'll do range of motion, muscle testing, we'll fix something, and then we'll retest it, and then that makes it, lets me know if it's working in the right pattern. So then we'll do kind of like a process of elimination, so to speak. It's the energy work is more intuitively guided to figure out what direction to go with. Sports, honestly, it's a new concept for me, just trying to figure out how to describe it because everybody's results are pretty phenomenal, but it's just like normal for me.
Yeah, so do you feel like you get a body in front of you and then it's, I guess that's why it's called Intuitive Wisdom, because is it just like, almost like you can feel what needs to get done and you use some visual retest stuff to confirm for you that you're on the right track?
Yeah, it's so like when people get on the table, I do range of motion, neck, shoulders, and hips, and then based upon just the way the neck feels as I move, I kind of have an idea of what muscles to release and go with that. And then I go to the shoulders, do the same thing, release specific muscles. Mostly the tricep is the biggest one that people don't realize how much it affects the shoulder. Mm-hmm. And then I go down and I do a process of like muscle testing the toes, kind of priming the lymphatic system to see how, if it's actually flowing where it needs to. I have a friction test that I do over the sheet that lets me know about superficial blood flow and how that's processed through and how bands directly affect that blood flow process. And then intuitively is the reason why I got the name Intuitive Wisdom is actually because I had a lot of clients like, hey, how did you find this out? So like if you're tight on your calf here, if we release your lat, your calf pain goes away. It's like, how did you figure that out? I'm like, honestly, I just kind of intuitively guided to say, hey, let's try this, or let's try this. And then I always ask my clients, hey, you know, does this feel better? Does this feel better? So like the idea of the traditional lymphatic system, I'm really challenging what that is because the way I understand it, it doesn't go with the same mindset.
That makes me think of the book Anatomy Trains. Mm-hmm. Have you read that one or looked at it?
I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, anyway, I think that has some overlapping stuff in it from what you're talking about too. So let's say I'm a person who has, let's just use an example, a chronic pain patient, maybe I'm hypermobile, maybe just have some fibromyalgia for years too. Am I the type of patient that would benefit from your services?
absolutely. I haven't really.
And why or why not?
Okay. I really haven't found a limit to the benefits that people work on, whether it's like chronic conditions or acute injuries. So the biggest or the biggest idea that I can express is that your body's a fully pressurized system, and if there's something that disrupts the pressure, then that's going to affect all sorts of things. So fibromyalgia is something that is really challenging for people to understand because it's random and it's really chaotic to a certain degree. And then, like, traditionally the people that I see are typically women from 20 to 50s, athletic or not, sit at desks or office, whatever. That's typically the people that are kind of drawn to me because they're wanting to get better. But if you have fibromyalgia and you're looking to try to get out of pain, by me assessing the full body and flushing the system and basically what I call unkinking the lymphatic system, then your body's going to process that blood flow differently, and then you're going to have pain for longer. So traditionally, people come in and within one or two sessions, they have about 2 or 3 weeks of relief, versus a traditional massage where you just lay there. This is more interactive. And when I ask people, say, "Oh, you've had a massage before?" "Yeah." "Well, how long did that massage last you?" "Oh, maybe a couple of days, a couple hours." And then for when people see me, it's usually a couple weeks.
So you see kind of this longer lasting effect.
Yes.
And I assume people feel better with that.
Yeah, they love it. And they tell all their friends and everybody else too, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, whether it's a chronic pain patient with fibro and hypermobility, or an athlete, or somebody who's sitting at their desk all day, it sounds like with our systems in our body and how integrated all the systems are, there's going to be benefits for each one of those types of patients.
Yep.
Yeah. Whether it's EDS, hypermobility, or any other journey that a body has been on, right? And I think that we can put lots of different categories or names on things, but the reality is each body has gone through a journey to where it's at right now.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if I'm putting words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the sense I'm getting from listening to you is that you take that intuitively into account when you see a body in front of you to work on.
Yep.
And it's kind of like you're able then to adjust with your techniques to respect that journey that the body has been on up until that point.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yes,
no?
That was actually a very accurate statement.
Okay.
So a lot of people who come in, like, trauma is stored in the body, you release the muscle memory, and then that trauma is experienced. I have lots of stories I could share for another time, that goes through what people experience on my table and what they feel through the process, and how I basically hold them or comfort them in a way that is supportive to where they can cry it out or they can express the anger or fear or whatever it is. And they have this safe place to fully express what they're feeling. And then I kind of walk them through a visualization or a process to where they can mentally challenge it and also work through it and process through it. So then it gives them a sense of ownership of, okay, I had that experience and I can heal from that and I can move on. So that's kind of what we do.
So I love that, listening to that as a clinician and person involved with holistic care. That sounds lovely. And now I'm going to flip the lens and listen to what you said just now as a person who maybe has been through trauma. And I just got really freaked out by what you said.
Yeah.
So the person who has been through trauma, and here's what you said about, you want me to experience my trauma in a safe place and you're gonna hold me? Like, that evokes some fear and concern. What do you say to that person? Because I do think you can help that person. So how do we kind of assure that person, hey, this is safe, you're gonna be in control or whatever?
So for me, being a male massage therapist and working predominantly with women, I have definitely really hard boundaries that I never cross. And then I also have a way to have people express whatever they're going to express. Traditionally, people who have emotional releases are kind of bottled up within a small aspect of their energy field. They're not reliving the same experience in the same way. They're probably reliving an aspect of that, or the materialization of the experience in their body in a way. So like I've had a lot of people who've done self-harm before, and then we go through a journey of, you know, what color is it, what shape is it, whatever it is, can you get it out of your body, can you visualize it out of your body, and then we reassess of what color is it now, what shape is it now, and we always try to elevate the energy so it's a higher and higher frequency. So we're usually something that was black or dark and red, and that was a ball that was really dense, is now light and purple, and it doesn't even exist anymore. So it's more of a metaphysical approach to it than an actual physicalness to it. But I've also had people where they've had a physicalness of went back into that emotional state and cried, and I just basically either hands on or hands off and just let them experience whatever they need to experience.
Thank you for explaining that a little bit further, because I do think that's a real fear that a lot of people maybe have when hearing about the work that you do, especially if they're not familiar with people who do stuff like that, right? And there might be some fear in even booking an appointment, even though you probably can help them quite a bit. And so just kind of, I appreciate you explaining that a little bit more, so that for those people that applies to, maybe give some reassurance too, that you're in that space to help their healing journey.
There's actually a lot of people who are unaware that they even had the trauma to begin with, and then you press on a muscle, you do something, and then all of a sudden it like triggers them. You know, just for me, I have to be in the moment. I'm almost like hyper aware of the situation, of the way the skin feels, the way the person's breathing. I'm like so in tune with where they're at that moment in time, that I can always pick up on it and be like, okay, hands on, like what are we gonna do? You know, how are we processing that?
Yeah, and that's a real skill. The yoga that I teach here is trauma informed. So I too have a lot of the trauma training and that ability to kind of pick up on the physical response to stress, right? But I think that's fabulous that you have that in the profession that you're doing, and that you're tying everything together, not only just massage work, but how is the body responding to that, and being able to adjust and pivot and based on your body knowledge to go with that person's journey.
And I have been doing energy work for 25 years. So I have Kundalini Reiki master. I'm a Usui advanced practitioner. So that through my whole life, I've always utilized the intention behind energy, and that makes a huge difference.
You have a whole bunch of training in your background. That's amazing. What got you into it? The origins of it, if you don't mind me asking.
So it's try not to cry, but my spouse at the time, way back when, she had daily debilitating headaches and migraines. And at the time I was working at a body shop fixing cars, and then we just like, my vow to her was we're gonna find a cure for it. And then so we went through a process of finding a chiropractor, massage, reflexology, diet. You know, we went through this whole rabbit hole, and this was even before gluten-free was even a thing. Like, you didn't find anything in Walmart, you didn't hardly find anything in Hy-Vee. And so through when that process started, we came across massage, and I'm like, I can do that. So we ended up going down that pathway, and I became a massage therapist because of her. And I got really good at fixing people's headaches.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it was born from a passion, and then what made you continue to explore and go through all the trainings? What was the driver to say, well, I'm not satisfied with just plain old massage?
Well, I've never been satisfied with a mindset of it takes a long time to get somewhere. I'm always like, be as efficient as possible. It's kind of like funny. I'm thinking about like renting an excavator and stuff to do some homework or do some stuff at home, and it's like I want the most power because I want to go the fastest and the hardest like that we can possibly do to get it done. Because for me, being in a situation where somebody tells you, oh, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get better, I'm like, let's cut that down significantly if we can view the body as this whole process, both emotionally, spiritually, everything. I've never been satisfied with not getting stuff done as quickly as possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you very much.
And I am really excited about September 30 now. So come out and join us. We're just gonna have a little bit more of a discussion with Ben, and I hope to see you there.